Are we live? Are we live? Are we live now? Are we live now? Yeah. Excuse me. What a great way to start a video. Hacking on the old. Actually, I'm not hacking on anything. I'm hacking in my hand. Good morning, everybody. I'm a little bit late, but it's Tech Talk Tuesday. We're back to Tuesday. It's a Tech Talk Tuesday. Missed last Tuesday because I forgot my computer and, stuff happens. So, and you know what, Mike? You need to be right. I'm talking to myself here. I'm talking to you guys, but I'm talking to myself. I need to be more regular because you know what? Take a little fiber, be a little more regular. Maybe it's too much information, but you know what? If the guy expects you to be on Tuesday, you better be on Tuesday. So today, my thumbnail is PDI. And my thing about a PDI, and for you guys that may have heard, I won an award. Peterbilt Pacific 2021 Sales Achievement, Mike Chamberlain. Peterbilt. It's pretty nice, eh? It's kind of heavy too. And you know what else I learned? Apparently, an award like this will set off the airport security thing where they want to check your bag. And you know what's really funny about them checking my bag around my award? I wanted to protect it. So you know what you put around your award to protect it in your suitcase? Dirty underwear. You know what happens when you're at the security TSA lineup and you got to pull your award out? Yep, show everybody your dirty underwear. But thank goodness there were no skid marks. So anyways, too much information. So PDI. The reason why I want to talk about a PDI is fix my hair a little bit. Is, in my opinion, and you know what, I need to move this so you guys can see it because should a guy do his own PDI on your new truck? I say yes. Now your dealer does a PDI. The OE, and I'm not saying that it's just a Peterbilt thing. It's really a you thing. And the reason why I say you should do a PDI, your own PDI, and what does PDI stand for? It's pre-delivery inspection. So when a dealership gets a truck, the factory gives them like 3 hours or so to do a PDI. So anyways, the factory gives them 3 hours to do a PDI. Let's face it, 3 hours, you can piss away 3 hours pretty quick. So it's really not enough time to be thorough. So I know here in Prince George, I think we budget like 8 or 10 hours or something like that. And, you do things like you check the diffs, you check the driveline angles, you grease it, tighten up the mirrors, make sure everything works, check all the lights and stuff and just give it an inspection. You see if there's anything loose, needs to be tied up. That's, because let's face it, they build these trucks quickly. Like a Peterbilt truck, from the time the frame rails roll into the building till a truck is driving out the other side, it's only 8 hours. I know, it's crazy to build a truck from scratch in 8. Well, technically it's not scratch, but because if it was scratch, they would, build every component. But yeah, so they build the truck in 8 hours. So crazy. I know, crazy. So 3 hours to go over it. It's really not enough time. I mean, technically anything that you don't find in that 3 hours is warranty, but let's face it, who wants to deal with warranty? I know I don't want to deal with warranty because it's a pain in the butt. And that's why I say, I think you should do your own PDIs because that's what I would do. The dealership does a PDI wherever you get your truck, whoever OEM it is, they do a PDI. Some are more extensive, some are or less. And sometimes you might get a really good deal on a truck from a certain dealership somewhere, but they don't really do a very good thorough PDI because let's face it, someone's got to pay for that. But I recommend anyone that buys a new truck to do your own PDI, pre-delivery inspection, especially if you're in like forestry, logging, or gravel, or off highway, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, I just had a brain fart. At the end of the day, it's just to make life easier for yourself and your truck. When it's new and it's clean and it's dry and everything's shiny, it's so easy. You just take a half a day. Well, maybe not even a half a day, but take a few hours, get a creeper out. If you don't have a creeper, park it on some grass because grass is, kind of nice. And you just take a bag of tie straps, crawl underneath. If you see any wires that are, pulled tight over something, if you got I'm using my cord here. So if you see a wire going into something and it's like that, you know what? Just loosen it up a bit and make it a nice curve. And just little things like that, the dealer may have missed, that just could help you down the road. And I mean, it's not to say that finding something like that's going to help you, in a week, 2 weeks. And yes, it's warranty, or yes, you could note it all and take it back to the dealership and ask them to fix it. But really, if it doesn't fail, there's nothing, they can tidy some things up, but yeah, if it doesn't fail, there's nothing to fix, but just makes your life easier. Another thing that I used to like to do, and even when I was a driver, I would do it. If I got a new truck when I was a driver, I would crawl underneath and change some of the fittings, because we do lots of gravel roads up here. And nowadays, with all the push together plastic fittings, they can be breakable. So if you got rocks flying up, they can hit a plastic fitting, break the fitting off, and there you are, broke down with a broken fitting. So what I would do is I would take actual brass fittings, and in the high impact areas, like on the front of the air tanks and basically the front side of anything underneath that could get the from rocks, I'd put a brass fitting there just for safety's sakes. And you know what? You could even use a brass push-on fitting, a brass push-on fitting. I mean, they're expensive, and it's still got the convenience of being a push-together fitting, but it's going to be strong. So if a rock hits that brass fitting, it's not going to just break like a plastic one will. So that's my advice to anyone buying a new truck. Do your own PDI. And you know what? You might find some things that the dealer missed that could be warranty. In fact, back in 2000, I bought a new truck, and I do my own PDI, go over it, put your own little 2 cents into it, make it your own, if you will. And I found the slip yoke on my driveline had a little bit of play. I greased it, and I was like, this has got a little bit of play. So I took it back and I said, my driveline slip yoke is worn out or out of spec. And they're like, well, it's in spec and it's fine. And I was like, no, it's not, because a new truck, your slip yoke should not have play. So we ended up getting a new driveline on warranty. Now, was it worn out? No, but we caught it, made a note of it, and then that way got it done before it was an issue. And it didn't get caught on the PDI. So, the factory PDI or the dealership PDI. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to talk about PDI first this morning. And let's see who we got here. Nick from Caperto. I don't know if that's how you say it. California. Let me tell you, I would love to be in California this morning, because it snowed last night like 4 or 5 inches. 10 centimeters. I don't know how much 10 centimeters is. I have a tape measure around here somewhere, but yeah, it's like April 18th. Normally I insure Princess, which is my Corvette. And today is April 18th. And no, it's the 19th. And there's and they're calling for more snow. Like, global warming? No. Climate change? Yeah, I guess. It's getting colder, not warmer though. Hi from Belgium. Hey, Warren, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Belgium. Hope you guys are doing hope you guys are doing okay over there. You hear about all this war stuff in Ukraine, and it's kind of spooky, but I can't even imagine being in Europe and having to deal with it. And I'm just going to turn my phone down, because you guys don't need to be bothered by my dingling. Jamie Rushing. Hi, Mike from West Alabama. Hey, Alabama. How you doing? John will be fine. That's kind of an interesting name. Hello, Mike. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, the Netherlands. You know what? Itchy boots. Okay, let's talk about fun stuff. Let's talk about YouTubers. We got the work stuff out of the way. Tech Talk Tuesday, talk about PDIs. If you guys have any questions about my opinions on PDIs, just ask me. But let's talk about what's happening in trucking YouTube. I was going to say automotive news, but Itchy Boots isn't automotive news. Itchy Boots is, she's from the Netherlands, which is, where the segue is from John from the Netherlands. And she's riding from South America to Alaska, which is kind of cool, because I bet you she's going to come right through Prince George at some point, because to get to Alaska, you pretty much need to come through Prince George to get to Alaska. So if you're coming up the west side, so that's pretty cool. She's from the Netherlands. She's riding a Honda, what is it? A CF, a KX. It's a 300 anyways, dual sport bike. And you know what? I enjoy watching her videos. So yeah, if you like adventure riding, go check out Itchy Boots from the Netherlands. Itchy Boots. She's got like 1 million subscribers now. It's kind of cool. Anyways, hello, Mike from India. Hello. In I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Babansawar. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Hi from Snowman in Sweden. Hey, Snowman. Hope you're doing well. We got snow today, so segue to the Snowman. What do you know about Volvo FH series? Honestly, I don't know anything about Volvo FH series. I'd like to know more, but I don't. I'm a Peterbilt Packard guy, so coffee tastes so good today. So good. What else do we got? Hi from the Netherlands, Holland. Bus 2000. Cheers. I mean, the European Cabover Volvo FH will be driven in the US and Canada. I'm going to have to do some research because I honestly don't know. Hey, Ken from Texas. Hey, Cody. Good to see you too. Well, actually, I can't see you, but thanks for tuning in. Hi from Chandler, Arizona. I hear it's nice in Arizona this time of year. Mom and Dad just got back, and they said it was starting to get warm. You know, highs of 30 degrees. So I don't know what's that, like 90. I don't know. Yeah, they had to come home early because Dad's his driver's license needed to be renewed. His birthday's in January, so he got a 3-month extension. But so I think it was April 11th. He had to be back in Canada to get his driver's license renewed. So that's the only reason why they came back when they did. Which, yeah, it wasn't to see his kids, that's for sure. Because, well, I mean, really, why would you want to come back to see your kids when you could be in Arizona? So I don't blame him a bit. Because you know what? I'm getting to that age where it's time to start doing stuff without my kids, which is kind of weird. I got to tell you. Hi, Mike. Got a new 389 Pete scheduled for December build. What is your best guess on how that timeline will hold? X15 X15 engine. Well, Randall, I think that schedule, I think it should be good. And I mean, everything is fluid. Depending on where you're at, you're probably in the US, which is better because you won't have the transportation woes that we have here in Canada. But I've been noticing a bit of a trend where things have been moving up in the schedule a little bit, which is certainly a good thing, because if they're moving up in the schedule, then it means that the factory's estimate for our allocation is basically a little less than what they're doing. So that's a great thing. So I think your truck should be built in December, or maybe November. So, because what are we? We're April. So yeah, it's just a tentative build date. It's not a firm term. It's not a firm term. It's not a firm date. Generally, like I've got my they call it an RO29, and your salesman will have them too. So this is it. So on it, it's got the person's, I don't know if I should show this, but I just did. I'll turn on an angle. So maybe I guess private. I don't know if it's real privacy that you see a name beside a serial number, but so we've got our serial number. We've got the truck model. There's a D and an F. I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to have to ask that because I don't know what this, anyways. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, that's probably I know what it is. It's the factory, duh. And that's why they're all D. D is for Denton, Texas. F is for Mexico, because the 520s are made in Mexico. The garbage packers, garbage packers aren't made in Mexico, but the low cab Fords are made in Mexico. Say Saluita. Gosh, I tell you, I told my kids this morning, I said, I apologize when I'm in my 70s if I become a babbling idiot and can't remember anything and go on tangents, because I don't know. I'm only 49, going to be 50 in October. Feels like I'm having trouble talking today. So we've got serial number, the manufacturer place. You've got the model. You know, I've got 520, 367, 520, 579, 567. Then you got the customer name. Then you've got what week it's in. So like I've got trucks, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trucks in week 0, which means they're built, but they're missing some. But there's only 7, so that's good. And then you got week 2, week 4, and because when you can make changes, it all depends on what week it's in. So when your salesman says it's in week 8 and I can't make changes, yeah, you can't. But if it's in week 9, maybe you can make changes. And actually, it might be week 10 when the last time. And the cost for doing change orders changes too, depending on, like, if your truck's way out, you can make changes and it doesn't cost very much. But the closer you bring it in, the more expensive it gets, to where it's expensive to change a truck but it's cheaper to spend money on a change order than to try and fix something when it gets here that's goofed, like, no diff lockers on the tri-drive. How do I know that? Because I did it. How much did it cost, you ask? $11,000. So don't miss your diff lockers on a tri-drive, because you'll be really disappointed when you got to pay for that. Well, you won't have to pay for it as a customer. Well, you shouldn't have to pay for it, but as salesman dealer, yeah, we pay for it. So anyways, and then you've got firm/schedule, or firm tentative schedule date, and then actual estimated release date. So estimated release is like estimated when the truck will be released into your possession, so to speak, which means kind of like delivered or whatever. It used to be that the actual estimated release, quite often we would have the trucks here for that date. And then it kind of got stretched out to where now it's like, we won't have them here for that date, because that's 2 weeks after the build date. So your firm schedule date, if a truck is firm dated, that means your truck is getting built on that date. If it's tentative, it means, it's tentative. Well, obviously it's tentatively planned for this date, but it could move a little bit either way. You're not going to have it go way out to the end of the year or way out to the front of the year, but it might move forward 4 weeks or back 4 weeks, or like last fall, I had 4 389s that got moved up in the schedule like 3 months. And it, that's when everything was slowing down. I had customers like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then the next day you go, oh no, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then it's like, you're changing stuff too much. Like, it costs every time you make changes. So I made a list, was a good salesman. I made a list. And then I said, okay, I'm going to wait till you're finished deciding how you want it. And then I'll do all the changes at once, because that's the cheapest way to do it. So it was like August, I guess, maybe middle of August. I was like, you know what? I should put those change orders in now. So yeah, it's time. Build dates were in November. So I had lots of time. Thought I had lots of time. So I go and put my change order in, and then it's like, bloop. Can't do it. Truck's in I think it was in week 5, week 4 or something. And the factory, and this is my bad, I didn't notice that the factory had moved them from November up to September. And I missed my change order date. I couldn't make the changes. And I was like, oh my God, I can't make Gil's changes because the truck's getting built. And of course, all we were hearing about is trucks getting pushed back. We're going to have supply chain issues and trucks getting pushed in next year. And I'm like, the trucks are supposed to get pushed back, and now they're in frickin' September when they were, and ironically, the guys that were getting these trucks, they didn't want them until spring. Like, that would have been fine if they didn't come till spring. If the factory could have brought up some other trucks, it would have been best. But I mean, the factory doesn't know what you're doing. They're just moving the schedule depending on what they have for parts. So, yeah, thankfully the changes weren't that bad. That Gil still took his truck, and it looked absolutely beautiful. But it was just some things, like originally he wanted cab extenders, and then he wanted to remove them on the 78-inch bunk. So when it showed up, it had cab extenders instead of them removed. And you know what? He got a great truck. It's a beautiful truck, and the price was great because it was last year. But that's where I say, until it's firm dated, it can move. And my guess is if your truck is in December, my guess is it'll probably move up a little bit. Shipping to Canada is getting better. Thankfully, we've got trucks showing up now. We've got, what did we get? Like 5 trucks in the last little while. So that's good. And they're starting to move. So thank you, Active Transport, and all those drivers out there that are pulling for Active for for bringing them to Canada. I know some of our stupid rules make life difficult, but boy, we sure appreciate it, because without you guys, I got nothing. So anyways, big shout out to Active for bringing our trucks in. And hey, if you're an Active driver and you're bringing trucks to me, there's a free cup of Joe in it for you, or a bubbly. I got a fridge in my office too, so whatever you want. I mean, I thought about saying, hey, I'll give you $100, but that would be bribery and it would be wrong. So yeah, I can't do that. But if you bring me my trucks, I'll hook you up. I'll hook a brother up. So anyways, getting sidetracked here, talking about new trucks. And you know what? That's what I love about live. It's raw. It's real. It's now. Somebody asked me a question. I can answer the question. And it's a no bullshit, no bull stuff answer. Might be a little bit of a crazy answer, but it's no bull crap. Okay. So that was Randall's talking about his 389. Hello from Texas. Hey, Jason. Do you know DAF Trucks of Netherlands? I do not know much, although I did see a DAF truck at the PACCAR Innovation Center, and it was really cool. Not gonna lie, there's some things that are the same, and there's some things that are like totally different. And the European trucks, the way everything's packaged, I really like it. But maybe that's because I'm kind of a Cabover geek. But Brian Glendening, Kitchener, Ontario. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Kitchener, Ontario. Do you know, or have you ever watched DeBoss Garage? I think it's DeBoss. I think it's DeBoss Garage, because he's over in Ontario. But and we'll get more into that after I say hi to all you guys. DAF is PACCAR. Yes, it is. Snow is here too, so you can keep it. Oh yeah, freaking snow. Hi, Mike. If I bought a heavy haul Peterbilt from you, can I legally register the truck in Michigan? Yes, you can. There's a few things that a person, okay, let me rephrase that. Technically, no. Technically, I cannot sell into the US because of the dealer agreement. Now, if it was a truck going to a bodybuilder in Canada, that I could do. Because if it comes to a bodybuilder in Canada and then goes back to the US, and I believe that's okay. Or if I sell the truck to someone and you say wanted to buy that truck, then that would be okay. But honestly, right now, I can't get enough trucks for my local guys. So unfortunately, I can't help anybody from outside of my province right now. So I would love to, though. One day, here's the plan. One day, Peterbilt Mike has his own online, I don't know if it'd be online shopping or whatever, but I have my own, call it allocation to sell a whack of trucks. So that would be cool. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if you guys could buy a truck built by me, and if I could do a volume to where I could keep the prices down for y'all? Because at the end of the day, I'm a truck guy that came into truck sales. One, because I wanted to try an office job. But I want to help you guys. I want to help the trucker. I want to help the owner operator. I want to help the small fleets. And I mean, actually, I'd really like to help the big fleets too, because that's a lot of trucks. But honestly, it's you, the trucker, that I want to help. And that's why I got into truck sales. So, because if I can do a better PDI, if I can order trucks in volume to get better deals, if I know the tricks to get the truck without traction control or whatever, I just want to help you guys, because I grew up with it. Dad bought his first truck, and if it wasn't live, I'd share a picture. Maybe I can share a picture on my phone. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So Dad bought his first truck the day I was born. I don't know if it was the exact day, but basically Mom was in the hospital having me, and apparently I was a bit of a bugger to come out. So she was like labor for 3 hours or some crazy thing. And anyways, so while that was going on, Dad went and bought a new truck. So literally that was Dad's first truck he ever owned. And he's had 50 trucks since then. And it's really cool. My brother actually found I'm actually searching my brother's Facebook profile while I talk. So Steve is my brother. He found a picture of Dad's first truck. It was a 1972, because I was born in 1972. W900. It was a log truck. It was a stock truck that he bought off the shelf. And why are some things so difficult? You know what I mean? I think you do know what I mean. But anyways, I can't think of. Now I'm doing two things at once and failing. But yeah, it was a stock truck. Dad put a new Columbia trailer on it, and it was like 39,000, 36,000, something like that. It was pretty dang affordable. So I was just trying to find this post that Steve did, but I guess I shouldn't try and do it and talk at the same time. It's kind of like chewing gum and talking at the same time. So anyways, I'll see if I can find it and show you guys. Oh my gosh, it's dang phones, I tell you. So anyways, yeah, been around trucking my whole life. Family's done it. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to try and help you guys. So and that's my that's kind of my thing that you know what it is? It's because I'm not on my own profile. I'm on like Peterbilt Mike C's profile. So there's another thing. If you guys go on Facebook, I have a page called Peterbilt Mike C, and that's my Facebook page. It's usually just a copy of my Instagram stuff. So, but you get it. If you want to follow my socials, it's totally cool. If you don't, oh, there it is. Look at that. I just had to get on the right profile. So this is kind of cool. So I apologize for, a phone taken on a camera, but this was Dad's 1972 W900. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And Dad bought that truck the day I was born. Pretty cool. So how long have I been in trucking? Forever. My whole life. Originally Dad was Jim Chamberlain Trucking, and then he changed the name. I think he said he had that for like 6 months, and then it was Cloudburst Transport and been Cloudburst Transport forever. So, and on the side of it, he put Moonlight Gambler, and that really hasn't changed because with logging, you're always working in the moonlight. Anyways, so yeah, segue into that. Hi from Huntsville, Ontario. Hey, Joan and Glenn, thanks for tuning in. Bus 2000, I know it. Okay, I don't understand that. Afternoon, Mike from England. Thank you, Vaughn, for tuning in. Okay, Mike, in your previous live streams, did you got any live stream viewers from South Africa? I don't know for Peterbilt, but thank you for tuning in from South Africa. It's very much appreciated. Hello from Capus. I don't know where that is. Capu Casing, Steve. Do you know the difference between Canadian trucks and Australian trucks, which has B trailers and road trains? Yeah, I know the difference between the trucks is Australian trucks are built for heat, and we don't. We're not built for heat up here. I can tell you that. But trucks are very similar. Other than the Australian trucks are right-hand drive. Some of the DOT standards are different. As far as things that are allowed and not allowed and that are required, like full fenders. I love the fact that in Australia you have to have full fenders. I would like to see that here. I mean, we would probably see a lot of fenders on the road because our roads are rough, but I think it's a great idea. Keep the debris off the road. It's hard on our windshields. So will you ever add at Cracker Box Cabover to your collection? Probably not, but never say never. I mean, really, I got to slow down and get some trucks done. How do large fleets get trucks when a salesperson like yourself has a hard time selling one or two trucks? Well, it's all about allocation. So really, when it comes down to the dealer, everybody gets allocated something. So we'll have so many trucks for our fleet customers, so many trucks for our owner ops, and it's kind of like a juggling act too, because like with us, we have to have a certain amount of MX engines. And if you've got a fleet customer that likes the MX, well, then it's easier to give them more trucks if they can use those engines, and you have fewer owner ops that will take that engine. Like I could get more owner ops trucks if they take the MX engine, but if they're packing big weights, oh my, need to change my battery pack. Now it just went blank. Technology some days is hard. There we go. And we should be back very shortly. Oh, hey, utility. No, we don't want that. We want picture, dang it. Ha, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for hanging around. was going to start this live at 9, and one of my good customers called me that I've had ever since I worked at Western Star. Sold him his Western Stars, and now I've sold him half a dozen Peterbilts, and he's an owner-op. So great guy. Yeah, just, you know what? I just appreciate, I was going to say I love my customers, but that sounds a little bit, I guess I kind of do love my customers, because at the end of the day, I support my customers and my customers support me. Like I tell people, it's a partnership. It's not a, you know what, but I guess getting segued. So I guess the answer to your question is it's management. So a fleet will not get as many trucks as the fleet wants, just like I can't get as many owner operator trucks. You know, like I've got a fleet taking, I think 16 trucks this year. But some owner operators are having to wait or whatever. So it's just a juggling act. So, and you know what? Doesn't matter if you're fleet owner op, everybody's paying more, everything costs more, and there is no special treatment. I guess the only thing I could advise is don't be a jerk to your salesman and try and push them around, because if you need a truck, you're not going to get one. You know what? If you're a nice guy and you know you got a good relationship with your salesman, odds are he'll bend over backwards to try and get you a truck or whatever that you need. So, because I mean, yeah, your salesman really should care about you. And you do care about people. And I think that's the hardest part. Like my last live where I walked around the yard, and I apologize for the video on that, because in my yard, lives are really crappy. But who knew living out in the sticks, your internet would be bad. But I think that's, you know, when we, you know, and I want to be real with you guys to where, you know, it's like talking about struggling a bit with depression and stuff like that. I think a lot of us do. And it's one of those things as men, it's not, you know, it's thought of as a weakness thing where, you know, and even a person doesn't even want to talk about it, but it's tough, you know, like with all the stuff going on in the world. And I mean, you know, us guys generally are the providers for our family, or the bulk of it. So, you know, you got, you know, your kids rely on you, your wife relies on you, or you got your, you know, your bills, and you got to work, and everything's costing more. And then like in my world, you got customers needing trucks. You got customers wanting trucks. You've promised people trucks. You're trying to get them their trucks. And then, you know, I got customers that are like, I need my truck because it's, you know, it's got to go to work and we got work for it. And it's like, I can't get them out of the factory. And it's like, you know, so many challenges to where, yeah, it just wears on a guy. So to all my customers, thank you for your patience and doing the best I can, and it will get better. But yeah, if you guys are feeling bummed out or whatever, you know what? You're not alone. We have our good days and bad days. You know what? I'm feeling good. Like, you know what? Had a great weekend. Got some great videos. Actually, I edited one last night. It was from last Thursday, so I'm going to upload that tomorrow. And there's only 59 now, so I obviously dropped some guys babbling away, but that's okay. The next video is about K2, because yes, I started tearing into K2. So all you guys that wanted to see K2 truck videos, they're starting. So, and this weekend it was nice. It was warm. It was sunny. It was beautiful. It was a little chilly in the morning, but I don't know if I can open my blinds, but oh no, it's all screwed up. But there's snow on the ground now. Hopefully it'll be gone soon. But anyways, getting segued. Hi from Australia. Hey, Jason. Hello from Norway. Mike, why don't you make a Cabover gravel? You know, funny thing is, I was thinking about a Cabover gravel truck, and one of my customers was talking about doing just that very thing yesterday. So, and a gravel truck would be so dang handy. Like, who couldn't use a gravel truck in your arsenal? How do large fleets get trucks when it's, oh, right. That was a question I just asked. So, wow. Nice, Mike. I love old Kenworth. Me too. I would like to get an A model one day. A W900A model. Maybe paint it like Dad's OG 72. Because you know what? It's the same age as me, or would be. It's a scary thought. I wonder if it would forget what it's doing sometimes. Probably. And you really get to notice with the old trucks that they are not nearly as nice as the new trucks. Although Low and Slow drives fantastic. Low and Slow drives better than Kenny. But in Kenny's defense, his throttle linkage is a little bit tight. And I almost wonder if I need to put an extra spring on it, because the throttle doesn't come down as quick as I would like it to. So it makes it a little hard to shift. But Kenny's going to get well, there's a new video. Here's another I was going to say sneak peek, but no, I'm not going to show you a sneak peek. I'll just tell you about it. But yeah, Kenny got some love. So there's going to be a real fun video about Kenny coming up, but I'm going to keep that one a secret. So it's a surprise when it comes out. But anyways, hi from Kansas. Thanks for tuning in from Kansas. I really want to go visit Kansas one day. Evening, Mike from Warwick in the UK. Love the American trucks. Thanks, Warwick. Oh, okay, I got you. That's your name. So I was thinking it was a town called Warwick, but nope, your name's Warwick. Matt, where's the Duke, or when you going to get it? Great videos. You know, and I have to apologize to you guys because I was going to get Duke a couple weeks ago, but it was cold and I didn't have Low and Slow quite ready. And not that Dawson Creek is that far away. I mean, it's only 3.5, 4 hours away. So I could certainly go, but it's one of those things to take Low and Slow, pack a load. I want to make sure he's as good as he can be, or at least up to snuff. So there's a few things I want to do, like change the water hoses. With the cold temperatures, I was a little bit hesitant or whatever. And then not this last weekend, Easter weekend, but the weekend before was our sales meeting, so I couldn't go then. And then I was going to try and go last Thursday, before Thursday. Well, no, it was Thursday because I need to go when our branch is open in Dawson Creek. But anyways, I still wasn't ready to go. So I didn't get it last weekend. And then there is another truck coming to the channel, but I got to go get it. And it's down in the Okanagan. And, you know, Duke is my truck. It's at our branch. He's safe. I know he's my boss just about mooned me. I'm going to do this. Actually, you know what I do is if he did move me, I'd just flip the camera around. Then I'd have to like change the settings because there'd be weird adult. Anyways, so yeah, Duke's safe, but I'm going to get him. But I might try. We'll see what happens with this weather. This weather is really throwing a monkey wrench into things. And I hate to say, oh, I'm going to go and get it at this date, and then it doesn't happen. So yeah, hopefully I can get the truck in the Okanagan this weekend and then go get Duke. The one in the Okanagan is another tall truck, and it is a Cabover. So that's a bit of a challenge. And I really want to get Duke home because I really love that truck. So, and we will. And the fellow that I bought it off of has offered to help me load it, which is fantastic. He's a great guy, and I really appreciate that. So we'll see what happens. But I don't want to make any promises because I hate to fail to deliver on my promises. But, you know, I'd also have to hold myself accountable. So anyways, your audio is not working. Really? Well, I guess you can see me. Anyways, just let me know if you can't hear me. So can't hear you. Son of a gun. Maybe that's when my picture went away. Where's the Duke and when are you going? Working here. Okay. Jeff says it's working there. Hey, Mike, this is Joel from Tucson, Arizona. Hey, Joel, bye-bye. Now it's 11 p.m. night in India. I will see you next live stream. Good night from India. Well, have a great night. Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Somebody retracted their message. Hopefully it wasn't anything nasty. Hi, Mike Paul from Shrewsbury, England. Shrewsbury, England. I'm with you. I'm on antidepressants. It shouldn't be embarrassing to ask or need for helping hand. There are a lot of pressure on people. I can hear you. Well, that's great, Paul. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with taking antidepressants. The most important thing to do is to seek help or talk to people. You know, and you don't have to talk to everybody, but just have a buddy because, yeah, it's a hard thing to talk about. I'm so fortunate because my wife is like a rock. She's a rock star, but she really is. I mean, she's a rock star. So yeah, we all need to lean on someone sometime again. And yeah, if you guys ever need to reach out. I don't mind texting or talking with anybody, but sometimes it does get busy and I have a hard time responding to people. But I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I love talking to y'all. I can hear you good. Perfect. Hi, Mike. David from Ohio. With changes in the trucking industry, do you see Cummins buying PACCAR or the other way around? No, I don't. I think Cummins and PACCAR will stay separated. I think there will probably be lots of partnerships in the future, but I don't think they will amalgamate. I could see partnerships though. And in saying that, I would ask the PACCAR, I don't know if you call them PACCAR executive or the grand poobahs at PACCAR. What about, this is just a thought now, this is Peterbilt Mike throwing out ideas. What about an MX-15 engine? What if PACCAR and Cummins partnered up and used the X15 platform so that the MX platform had a 15-liter engine? I think it's a great idea, because then I could sell MX engines, support PACCAR, support my brand, and get the horsepower I need. And it's not because I don't want to sell the MX. I have no problem selling the MX. It's because I need 2050 torque. So we need a 2050 torque MX option. Please and thank you. I know it's a great idea. Don't worry about it. You can take all my ideas. It's fine. Just give me a call. What should I do, Mike? So yeah. It's good now. That's good. Morgantown, West Virginia here. Hey, Matt. He's safe. Nobody can steal it if he won't start. That is true. He won't start, and he probably still doesn't turn over. But gosh, it's killing me to find that hole. So who needs a buddy when we've got people? Absolutely. You spelled Peterbilt wrong, Mike or Paul, but that's okay. So anyways, in other news, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is all the awesome truck content that is out there right now. Yeah, like I mentioned DeBoss Garage earlier, and I wanted to talk about that. He did, and I don't remember what his name is actually, but he's another Canadian. He's a full-time YouTuber. He's got like a couple 100,000 subscribers or more. Builds really cool stuff, but he's doing a Kenworth Cabover. If you haven't checked it out, go check him out if you like Cabover content. Now he did something that was really interesting, changing the cab. He took the Kenworth cab off the Cabover frame, and instead of stretching the frame, he put it on a conventional frame, which mind blown. It's a lot of work, but his truck turned out great. He spent the bulk of his budget, I think, on the paint, and man, worth every penny. So yeah. And I mean, you know what? If you save money somewhere else, the mechanics, it's easy to do. Even the frame, if you got to pull some parts off the frame to do whatever, easy to do. But the paint on the cab, the Boss Garage's truck looks awesome. So that's one of them. Another one is James Pretty. James just bought I think it's an 83 K100 Aerodyne with a Detroit. I don't know if it's an 8V92 or an 8V71, but it's a two-stroke. I was going to say two-stroke joke, but it's not a two-stroke joke. It's a two-stroke engine. Screamin' Jimmy. That's what they're called, Screamin' Jimmy. But yeah, and actually another YouTuber, Chad Keegan, went out to help him bring it home, which I think is really cool, and really enjoy those guys. And I think it's really cool watching them work together. And they did a bang-up job putting that truck together. If you haven't seen it, go check out his channel. Like they got it running. They took out friggin' rat's nests or squirrel nests or whatever they have down in where was that one? Was it in Arkansas? But yeah, like just super, super cool. And they drove it home, tag team to bring it home. So yeah, if you haven't checked that one out, go check that out, because that's really cool. I just saw this morning on Twin Stick Garage, he found his tires, the 10, I was going to say 10 or 22, but they're not. That would be a radial, but they're the 1000 22 tube type tires. So that is great news. Because they don't make those tires anymore, at least not that I understand. So I can't wait to watch his next video to see where that came from. His last one was, of course, the walking around Ritchie Brothers yard in Nisku. So that's always entertaining to see what's for sale in Ritchie's. And that one, was it a 379? I can't believe how much money it went for. Like, just blows my mind. So that is another great one. Gentry and Sons. Have you guys checked out? Probably a lot of you, or all of you, have checked out Gentry and Sons. Really, really down to earth people. He's got his W900 going back together. He got that wicked. If you haven't seen it, you got to go check it out. He got an old Freightliner Cabover that's got an industrial cat engine in it, and a vintage. I'm going to say vintage because I don't remember what year it is. reefer. And the trailer looks to be in its excellent shape. So just absolutely cool. Super cool. Jeff says, James truck sounds like a Greyhound bus. An older Greyhound bus, because the newer buses have 60 series in them. But actually, Dad's bus that's for sale, which I thought about doing a video on, it's got an 892 in it. And yeah, it's a Screaming Jimmy, two-stroke, no joke. But so those are a couple of channels. Semi-casual. I don't know if you guys watch Semi-Casual. I really enjoyed watching the Legacy truck getting ready for Mid-America. So I really like what those guys are doing with their new truck stuff, and that is pretty cool. I think they should probably get a Cabover though. I'm just thinking that would be kind of cool to do one up. But so that's another channel to check out. And who am I missing? Am I missing anybody else? It's all good, Paul. Sometimes we spell Peterbilt wrong because it's Peterbilt, B-I-L-T, not B-U-B-U-I-L-T or whatever. But I remember when I started here, my boss thought I spelled Peterbilt wrong. I was like, no, I didn't do that. Because he's like, no. He was pretty old Freightliner reefer is an 84. Okay, it's newer than I thought it was. But it's got all stainless on the side, which is super, super cool. Any updates on the setback, Pete? You showed us in an earlier Walk in the Woods episode. Maybe a will it start? Actually, that's a great idea. I never thought about doing a will it start. So, I did think about doing a will it start, and I want to do more will it start videos because for the simple reason, will it start videos, A, do great on YouTube, get lots of views, and B, they're fun. The only kicker is I can't buy them all. So, and it's probably a good thing if I don't buy them all. But yeah, I spoke to the owner that's got the Green International from that Jurassic Park video I did. He wants to get it running too. So when the weather cooperates this spring, we're going to go out there and we're going to get it started. And we're going to do a will it start. If it starts, well, I guess we'll do a will it start. And if it doesn't start, then anyways, you know what I mean. Hopefully it started, will it start? And we could do one on that setback, Pete, too, because it's been sitting a while now. So yeah, I would like to do more will it start videos. And my goal for this summer was to focus more on K2 and stubby. But the problem is when you got so many trucks, you kind of get sidetracked, and not necessarily sidetracked in a bad way, but some of it's kind of fun to where it's like, you know what, I just, it spices things up. So I hope you guys don't mind if I jump from truck to truck, but my two big focuses are K2, the 88 K100E, because I don't want to have dead soldiers in my yard. All these trucks I want to get running and then bring them to life. And the other one is Stubby. So because Stubby's got the N14, he was sold out of here. He's all complete. He was a high content. Well, he's still a high content truck. And he's just super cool. And I want to rip that ugly duck off him too. And Dad's back. So he's going to help me with it. I hope. So that is all great news. Any other truck channels that I missed? I don't think so. Well, probably. I mean, there are others out there. I mean, there's one, I forgot what the fella's name, but he had a 359 he was doing, but I haven't seen any of his videos lately. So, Bruce Wilson, right? Forgot about Bruce Wilson. He's back in the picture. And of course, he's got his new blue collar. He's done a ton of will it start videos, which is really cool. But he bought a new 389, and I think that's like super cool. And a step deck. He actually bought the step deck that I would like to have, because for hauling trucks, having a step deck with ramps to get up onto the neck and a flip beaver tail, his is nice because the ramps fold. But I want to get a trailer like that one day so that I can either A, haul my trucks to truck shows, or B, if I find a truck, I could just go pick it up myself and not be way over height, pull stacks off and go. Whereas right now with low and slow, I can haul trucks, but they're all over height, over height to where you need to have a permit and stuff. So that's why I want to get a step deck and then pull them behind Stubby, or one of the K100s, because the K100s are kind of driving. Well, they're not driving trucks yet, but they will be. So yes, can't forget about that. So Bruce Wilson. What else do we got here? Ex-Greyhound driver. I've heard them a lot. I bet you have. FSC Trucking. That's the fella. Thank you very much. I forgot about FSC Trucking. So he is the one. I don't know if you guys do much for car content, but Mike's Garage, which is my other channel, I haven't done a lot of videos because the weather sucks. Although I'm going to do one of changing oil on Princess. And someone asked me about what do you know about 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR 34, which was on Fast and Furious? What do you know about Paul Walker? Well, I don't know a lot about Paul Walker. I know he did Fast and the Furious and the R34. Actually, the R34 Skyline, I believe, is like a Nissan 240. I actually had a Nissan 240 back in the day. Someone stole it, took the wheels and tires off it, and torched it, which was very disappointing, but cool car. But anyways, that's Mike's Garage stuff, and we can get into that later. Right now, it's just all about trucks because that's what we do. It's truck stuff. So upcoming videos. I got lots of content to get out there. So tomorrow's video is going to be on K2 that's coming out. So K2, we'll see how far gone he is, and we're going to start the rebuild on K2. Then I got a special one for Kenny. Kenny's first Will It Start video hit 1 million views. So thank you all for subscribing and tuning in and checking out Kenny's Will It Start. Kenny is the OG. Kenny's not going anywhere, and he's going to be always getting love of some sort. So I got that coming out. What else do I have coming out? There was another one. Oh, I got some cameras. So the backup camera that I had on Kenny, I've actually moved it over to low and slow because I'm hauling the truck. So I figured the camera would be handy. And FX Technology actually sent me some side view cameras, and I actually asked him for them because the backup camera works great. And the thing with the side view cameras is like on a Cabover, it's really hard to see cars on the passenger side because they're like way down there. So that's super handy. I worked on that last night when I got home. I actually put low and slow in the shop, which was a good thing since it snowed. But yeah. So anyways, that's up and coming stuff. Hopefully I'll have a going to get a truck video soon if everything goes as planned this weekend. Little sneak peek if you're still watching. The one in the Okanagan is another K100E, but it has some issues, and it's got a Detroit engine as well. Not a Screamin' Jimmy, but a 60 series. So just needs a little bit of loving. So and whatever. You know what? We're 52 minutes in. We're hitting an hour. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I'm up to. Yeah. I mean, I hate it when people are like, "Oh, just wait and tune in." Although, please tune in because Lord knows I need all the help I can with subscribers and views to help build the channel so we can help fund these trucks. But yeah, so the other K100E is down in the Okanagan. The feller that had it was going to rebuild it, and there was a fire where it was at. So the truck has burn damage to one side. I think it's savable. So we worked out a deal where basically if I can save it, I got to let them drive it, which is absolutely no problem. And we're going to try and save it because they only built so many Aerodyne Cabovers. So we got to save as many as we can, guys. And if the cab isn't savable, I might take the cab for Kenny and put it on that chassis if that chassis is better to save that, because it's a 60 series, which runs fantastic. Well, actually, this one doesn't because it broke an injector tip. So it's got one hole that needs to be repaired. But that's not a big deal. Not a big deal for a guy like me. And yeah, it's a Cabover chassis. And so that's why when people are bugging me about, and even like last fall, about putting the short little deck on Kenny, they didn't like it. And a lot of people don't like it. I mean, I don't mind it. Not very practical. And it rides rough. But if this truck works out to where the cab can't be saved, if it's too far gone, if it can't be repaired, then we could take the cab from Kenny and put on there, or we could take the cab from K2 and put on there. But the reality is the frame of K2 is better than the frame on Kenny. And, this is where it's kind of a juggling act. And like I say, originally the 378, it was to use that rear clip for, say, Kenny, but I like that truck too much. I can't chop it up. So I'm not going to chop it up. I'll tell you that right now. I'm taking that to the bank. Can I cash it? Probably not. But yeah, Duke Kaboom's coming close. I want to get it home. And, I think when I get it home, we're going to unload it in front of the shop. We're going to wash it, clean it, detail the interior. I know, even though the engine's blown, I want it to be clean. And then I'm going to roll it into the shop, flip the hood open, and we're going to see how bad the engine is. Right now, I'm thinking I'm going to put another C13 in it because of fuel economy. Because since I'm not making revenue with these trucks, except for whatever YouTube covers, which isn't a lot, but I mean, it's a little bit, I need stuff that's good on fuel. Like, fuel economy is important. So that's where Duke Kaboom, get it back. Right now, I'm thinking C13 instead of C15. I know a C15 would be better and be worth more money, but a C13 is all there and it's cheaper. Like, I can buy, at least that's what they told me, I can buy a C13 running from the wreckers for like $7,500. Talk to the guys up at P&R, and I could get a C15 for $15,000. So it's basically twice as much money. And it's like, okay, well, if I invest $15,000 into a C15 for, a 2006 378, the value's there all day long. But, I've got the ECM for a C13, the turbos for a C13, like all the stuff on the engine is there. If it's got a hole in the block, all I need is basically a long block, and then I can bolt all the other stuff on. So, but what do you think? I don't know. I keep bouncing around, and then I think fuel economy, but then now that I'm talking about it, then you think, well, maybe a guy should, if you have a C15 and you drive it slower, or, you just take it easy with lighter loads, maybe it would get good fuel economy too. Cause I know cats do get good fuel economy, but what's Kenny like on fuel? I don't really know what Kenny's like on fuel because I don't monitor it. He uses fuel. I know I actually pumped some fuel out of Kenny because I took the insurance off Kenny to put on Low and Slow to go get the other trucks. So I sucked some fuel out of him, and there wasn't as much fuel in it as I thought. So I think Kenny likes to drink. But he also blows black smoke, and he's got pretty good horsepower too. Like, he goes. So Kenny's got some cojones. So yeah, I don't think he's that easy on fuel. Low and Slow, however, Low and Slow is a fuel sipper. Low and Slow, I don't know what it gets for miles per gallon, but it's good. I know that much. It's probably not much worse than a 1-ton pickup until he's loaded up. I mean, obviously, anything that's got a load on it's going to burn more fuel. But what do we see? Hi, Mike from the UK. Have you decided how much you will stretch Stubby? Honestly, I don't think I'm going to stretch Stubby at all. Stubby's going to stay the Stubby truck. So Stubby's going to stay short. I've decided that. Kenny will get stretched. So Kenny's not going to stay short. He might stay short until I figure out if he's getting stretched or if he's going on the chassis that we're picking up, if we do that. But yeah, Stubby was born short, so he's going to stay short. Fuel what's that? Fuel over through the roof. Yeah, fuel's freaking crazy. When are we going to see more of Duke Kaboom? Old Scania driver from the UK. Yeah, we're going to, got to get him. I got to get him. Hello, Mike from Oklahoma. Love your show. Like your optimism. Thanks, Alan. And you know what? Guys got to be optimistic, especially when you have old trucks. Let me tell you. And part of why I want to save them is because, one, I love them. I love them to pieces. Probably one of the best things I did was get these old trucks. I know some people think I got too many or whatever, but I really love the trucks. I love to drive them and the feel of them. Granted, they're not as nice and smooth as the new ones. Like, the new trucks are absolutely beautiful to drive. They're so comfortable. They're getting more and more reliable. But the problem with the new ones, and I really see it with the latest stuff that's coming out, is you can't fix them yourselves. Like even the ECM harness on stubby. You know, I pull it out and I see the pins and I can change all the pins and I can understand it. Whereas, you know, the new trucks that are coming out today, and I mean, one day maybe I'll understand them too, but they've got smart switches and computers are running it where you just plug everything together and then you, I want that switch to do this. And, or you plug the switch in and now it knows what it's going to do because it's a smart switch. Well, I was thinking about it, and what's that going to be like when it's 20 years old? Like, do you just replace a harness and then the stuff works again? Which maybe it'll be easier because technically you'll have fewer wires. So maybe it won't be as bad as I think, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel as raw, you know, to where you want to hook up accessory lights. You want to put chicken lights on your truck. It's just seems easier on the older stuff where you put in a relay, tie in your wires, and it's kind of like the simplistic wiring. Whereas the new ones, it's like, well, you know, you don't want to screw up your chassis node because you took too much power here and the voltage screwed up. So then you got like one headlight, one tail light working, and you know, they're just so dang smart. But they truly drive fantastic. So that's what I truly love the old trucks, and so I can't help be excited about it. I really can't. As long as I can fund the projects, and one of my commitments is to not be one of those guys that buys trucks to the point where you've got a yard full of dead trucks. You know, I might not get my trucks done to showroom or show truck condition right away. But certainly I want to have them all driving at the very least. So, you know, that's why I say, like with K2, I'm going to start on them. I'm going to get the frame sorted out. We're going to find an engine for them, figure out what we're doing. We'll get the other one, figure out if we need to, you know, if the cab's savable on that one or not. I think the cab is. You know, Dad had a good idea. He's like, you know what, and I'm probably giving away too much here, but he's like, if the cab's burnt, maybe you can make it into a low roof. But then I'm like, but it's not, like, to me, I love the Aerodyne. Like, if it's going to be Kenworth, it's got to be an Aerodyne. I mean, nothing wrong with a flat top, but I just love the Aerodyne. Like, it's the BJ and the bad truck. I tell you, it's a BJ and the bad. That's why I like it. And I love the Pete Cabovers because, and you know, I never really knew anything about the Pete Cabovers before. I mean, other than the fact that Dad had the 352 cab in his Hayes, which had a two-stroke Jimmy, by the way. Dad was telling me some stories about it, and like he said, they're hard on fuel. They're neat and they're in their place, but that's a restoration truck. Like even James's truck, it's wicked, and I think it's perfect for what he's doing to bring it back. I don't think you would want to actually work a two-stroke Jimmy these days if you could help it, because, you know, fuel slobbery, you know, like those things, if they're not leaking oil, there's something wrong with them. But beautiful show truck, piece of history. Like that's what they are, a piece of history. So yeah, I want to save as many Aerodynes as I can, but I also don't want to just have them sit in my yard and become lawn ornaments, because that's not the point. Like K2 has been a lawn ornament for, gosh, probably better than 20 years, ever since that engine blew up. So he deserves to be brought back to life. I think the cab is in great shape. You know, I think about the fella that had it last that passed away. I believe he took his own life, which it makes me sad. And you know what? I think he deserves to see that truck running. I mean, I don't know where we go after we die, but if there's a God or you're up in heaven or wherever you are, I just feel like it deserves to be saved. So that's what I'm doing. I'm saving it. And if I'm not going to do it, then we're going to sell it to someone that will. We're not going to let it be a lawn ornament, yard art. Although some yard art would be cool, like say a 30s. Oh, here's something. I am looking for an OG Peterbilt for our company. So at our sales meeting, talked to the Grand Poobah, the El Presidente. Great guy, by the way. Really, you know, I just absolutely love this company because I just do. You know, people are great. President's great. You know, anyways. So that's a little bit of babble talk. So I'm looking for like a 38, 39, 40 Peterbilt that we could rebuild here at Peterbilt Pacific. So I'm calling out to you guys, asking for help. Our president said he's looking for one. He asked for my help, and I think it'd be really cool if I could help him find one. So that's what I want to do. And you know, when I was on holidays, I searched Facebook Marketplace all the time. There was, I'm pretty sure, a 38 Pete on Facebook Marketplace down in the Western US. I surfed from Yuma, Arizona, all the way up to Washington State, and kind of in that, like if you put a 500-mile radius all down the West Coast, I was surfing all the trucks because, I mean, it's what I do. And I saw one and I thought, oh, wow, that'd be really cool. And I can't find it again. So I'm looking for that truck because I think it was a 38, and I think that would be right up our alley. So anyways, if you guys know of any vintage Peterbilts, like I'm talking vintage, so old, I think Peterbilt Pacific would actually buy it and we would rebuild it. And the cool thing with that is then we would have all our resources, body shop, people, you know, and it wouldn't be just Peterbilt Mike funding it. It would be Peterbilt Pacific. So, and how cool would that be? Maybe we could we would follow its birth. So, if I could drive a tractor to work, I would in a heartbeat. I drove mine yesterday and it was fantastic. In 20 years, you will not be able to get a new harness. Correct. That is something I'm finding out with Stubby. Trying to get a new harness, impossible. Rebuild a harness, yeah, we could do that. It's going to be so much worse. Yep. Yep. James Pretty got his running. What do we got here? Have you sorted out wiring on Stubby? Not yet. I've just got to buy the what's the name of the connector? The Dutz. I don't think it's Dutz. Anyways, the round plug. I've been trying to find 14 wire. Can't find them, but I found 16. So I think I'm just going to order them off Amazon. It's like $300. So I was a little bit, do I want to spend $300? I have to spend $300. That's what I just have to. So I'm going to get those ordered so that I can finish it. I was just there again, having so many projects. I washed the wiring on the weekend, but old trucks, you're in control. New trucks, the computer is. True enough. Hello from Tennessee. Yeah. Love my Tennessee. I was actually thinking I'd like to move to Tennessee because I hear they have no income tax there. I could sell trucks in Tennessee. You know what? It would be so much easier if I was in the U.S. to sell trucks to all my American subscribers and followers and friends and stuff. So I think it'd be a hoot to move to Tennessee, actually. I think it'd be a hoot to move anywhere. California would be nice because of the weather, but I hear there's lots of taxes. And I'm not really I'm Canadian, so I know all about taxes. Oh, gosh, we got okay, rant. They just started this new tax. So when you buy a used vehicle, they're going to tax you based on what they think it's worth, not what you actually paid for it. So if I buy a truck for, say, $2,500 and they think it's worth 20 grand, they're going to charge me the tax based on 20 grand, even though I paid 2,500. Not cool, British Columbia. Not cool. You guys don't need to hear that, though. You never respond to my comment in the video that you were changing all the radiator hoses. Does that make you a hoser? It might. Honestly, I haven't been looking at comments lately, so not as much as I normally do. You know, it's trying to find that balance. You're like, how's it doing? What's it doing? What's it doing? Oh no, it's not doing as good. Oh no, people don't like me. To where I'm trying to just not, I mean, I love the comments and I want to reply to everyone, but I also don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I like everyone. And well, I mean, I do like everyone, but I don't know. Hopefully you understand what I mean, but just try to get a balance, but I don't know what is a balance. But yeah, so now I'm going to go check because maybe I am a hoser. Been called worse things. I seen some Pete Cabovers at work lately. Well, that's cool. Have any of the owners since you got them rolling coal? Have any of the other owners seen the truck since you got them rolling coal? No. And actually, you know what? That would make a great video to take Kenny back to LAN and show him. And let me tell you, when you see this next video of Kenny, which I think I'm going to try and post that this weekend. So I got a video coming out tomorrow, and then I'm going to do the other one for this weekend because I want to do more I want to get back to uploading lots. You know what? I'm going to upload lots, let you guys sort out the chaff. If you want to watch it, great. If you don't, you can just you know what, Mike's being a dork today, I don't want to watch it, or say Mike's doing radiator hoses, like that's boring. Or maybe you'll say, hey, Mike's doing a bird out in his Kenworth, so we're going to go check that out. You know what I'm going to do? There's 97 of you on here, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. When Kenny gets his new rear clip, I'm going to blow up the rear diffs. I know, probably a bad idea, probably crazy. And maybe I won't try really hard to blow up the rear diffs, but I want to do a burnout in a truck. I really do. That's been my goal the whole, talk about, I'm going to go viral. Well, I don't know if it's going to go viral. I just think it would be neat. And the diffs are already, like I noticed one of my housings is sweating oil. So it means that it's got a crack or probably corroded through or whatever. So you know what? If you blow it up, who cares? It's getting cut and stretched. So might be a little crazy, but you know what? Why not be crazy? Being boring and simple is just boring. So all is a dumpster fire. Stay clear from there. Okay. 3 hours? I don't think so. More like 36 hours. Oh, that's my mom. I don't understand what she's saying. Or maybe that's dad, actually. Maybe 30. I don't know. You're confusing me. Have any of the other owners? Oh, it was my mom's birthday yesterday too. Happy birthday, Mom. It's not official until it's YouTube official. So have any of the other owners seen hey from London? Call Callie, not Allie. Gotcha. Gentry and Sons went to a wrecking yard and got to look at some old videos. They might have I was looking at that Gentry and Sons videos. I didn't really, in the thumbnail, he talked about finding 2 cabovers. I didn't see them, but I kind of skipped through it. I did skip through it trying to find the cabovers, but I didn't see them. More moving out of California than moving in. I know. I'm just, you know what? It's snowy outside. So that's why I got to go to Tennessee. I go to Tennessee. Beautiful. You know what? I watched Twin Sticks Garage. Actually, that wasn't what I was going to say, but I do watch Twin Sticks Garage. Vice Grip Garage. I watch Vice Grip's Garage, and he moved to Tennessee. And I look at his field and his yard, and I'm like, you know what? That's kind of like Prince George without snow. I mean, I don't know. Did they get snow in Tennessee? I honestly, I don't know. But I love the rolling hills. I love fields. I love having space. Like, honestly, I don't think I could move back to, back into a subdivision. Honestly, I'm on 15 acres. I've got my shop. Oh, and here's another thing. My builder guy that I talked about building the pole barn for my trucks, he actually ran out of fuel on, what day was that? Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. And he ran out of fuel by my place. So we ran out of jerry can. And it's funny because he's such a character. And of course, I told him, you know what? 5 gallons of diesel, take it, no big deal or whatever. And he brings it back and he actually, left a little tip or whatever. But he's like, so are you going to be putting this on your property? Because of course it's getting full, let me tell you. And I'm like, yep. So I better start knocking trees down or put it somewhere where I don't have to knock trees down, but then I have to build a road and road's going to be more expensive. And I just segued into forgetting what I was talking about. So, nothing wrong with being a Canadian hose. Right, Tennessee. We're talking about Twin Stick. Oh, gosh, why do I say that? Not Twin Stick Garage, Vice Grip Garage. I guess it's the garage part. So Tennessee. And one day I will be going to the Mid-America Truck Show because I really want to go to Bowling Green and that whole area around there. I think it would be really, really a neat trip. If you do the diffs, you better have a spare drive shaft. Yes. And, it's kind of a stupid thing to do, really, because the other thing that's going to happen if you blow up a diff or if you take out a drive line, is you take out your transmission. And usually if someone spins a drive line out, you end up having to redo the back section of your transmission. So it's kind of an immature, stupid thing to do, but sometimes a guy just has to do immature, stupid things. So good morning, Mike. This is Moses Molin from Los Angeles, California. I question are thinking of getting to work on K2. Yes, we're getting to work on K2. Fair weather work, of course, because it's covered in snow right now. Come to Florida. I love Florida. We've only been to Florida once, but I really enjoyed it. And who cares about crocodiles or whatever you got down there? We got bears. And and you're probably more likely to get eaten by a bear than a crocodile. Well, maybe not. I guess it depends if you're in the water or not, but I don't know. Snows a couple times a year, depending in area of state. It's gone in days. See, that's perfect. Tennessee would be perfect because if it snows, it's like, oh, we got winter. It's beautiful, yada, yada, yada. Then it goes away. I love the look of snow. It's very pretty, but then to have it go away. I mean, it's April. We don't need snow in April. Very rarely do we get snow here in Tennessee. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world. You know what? That's awesome. I hate the fact that I want to live somewhere else in the world, but I'm really getting tired of being taxed to death. So I'm just saying, if you come to Canada, you know what? Yeah, we got healthcare, whatever. You get taxed to death. To death. Literally, it feels like we're dying because we pay so much taxes. And I don't want to complain, but I tell you, Canada's great and all, but we got snow, getting taxed to death, and it kind of sucks. So, but in hindsight, some trucks are great deals. I noticed down in the US right now, truck prices are way up there. So, and that being said, if anyone down there wants, and there a fella reached out to me from, he might have been in Minnesota, looking for some 06 tri-drives. No, it wasn't 06. It was like 08, 09, which kind of surprised me because, mind you, I guess they had DPFs then, not DEF. But I don't have any tri-drives like that. But if anyone down in the States is looking for a tri-drive, got a couple on consignment. I do. A couple T880s. Yeah, I know they're T880s, but they're tri-drives. And no state taxes either here in Tennessee. Like, gosh, I got to move to Tennessee. I could do videos in Tennessee. I actually was surfing houses in Tennessee once, not going to lie. No provincial taxes in Alberta, which is fantastic. That's because, you know why there's no provincial tax in Alberta? Because Alberta provides for the country. Not just Alberta, but the country, because that's where our oil and gas comes from. And you know, with all the stuff going on in Europe, we need to support our own oil and gas. And the States, because we're buddies, we're partners, we're like neighbors. Yeah, why are we importing oil? It's all political and money. Money. Florida hurricanes and sinkholes. Yeah, hurricanes are okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hurricanes. Sinkholes, I never really knew that it was a demographic thing, but sinkholes are kind of, I remember seeing a thing in Florida where a house like sunk or was under the house or something. That would be spooky. I actually had a little sinkhole in my yard. It was about this big. It was like a 3 foot square, and it filled up with, telling you the story about sinkhole in my yard. I go out to the yard. It's raining, whatever. It's like this time of year, spring thaw or whatever, where, one day it snows, next day it's wet. And we had a golden lab named Parker, and Parker's walking along. And she went to walk through the puddle, and all of a sudden her front feet went, and she was up to her neck and scammered out. And she was as shocked as I was. And I'm like, what the heck? Because it just looks like a puddle. Like it was just a puddle. And I took a stick, and it was about 4 feet down into that little puddle. So I don't know what happened, if there was like a tree root or stump. I mean, it'd have to be a pretty big root that rotted out. And it was a big sinkhole. So I had some rock in the yard, and I just took the wheelbarrow, filled it with rock, and kept filling the hole until it was full of gravel. And I never did see what it looked like in there because it was full of water, and now it's full of rock. So it's the only time I ever had a sinkhole, but that was weird. So, but anyways, guys, I should probably get going. I've been yammering on for an hour and 18 minutes. So thank you all for watching. Great stuff coming up on the channel. Stay tuned for K2. That's going to be tomorrow. I'll show you guys whether or not we can save K2. We've got the fire victim truck that's going to be coming to the channel. It's new. Nobody really knows about it. I've talked to a few people about it. But we're going to save that one too. And then we're going to go get Duke Kaboom. And I promise we're not going to get too deep into anything else till we get Duke Kaboom home. And K2 and Stubby are the priorities for this summer, because Stubby doesn't need much to get running. And he's got an N14, and I've got a transmission, and lots of cool stuff coming up. And I thank you for watching. Love you in the non-gay kind of way, and I mean it. So thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to go back to work now. Missed a couple calls. Slow right now. What am I going to do? Waiting for trucks to get rigged, waiting for trucks to come out of the factory. People calling about trucks. I'm like, no got any. Need a truck? No got any. But North Alabama, well, there's a Fitzgerald's Peterbilt dealer right down the road. Fitzgerald's, aren't those the guys that Fitzgerald's, that's like semi-casual. And those are the guys that used to do the glider kits. See, I think I could work for Fitzgerald's. I think Fitzgerald's and me would go great together. I'm just saying, they built some pretty wicked 389s, and let me tell you, I could build 389s all day long. So, 24 hours a day even. Well, actually, no, I need to get a little bit of sleep. Gentry and Sons Trucking, nice people, nice trucks, absolutely. Gentleman lost his life in a sinkhole. He was sleeping in his bed. Whole house fell into it. That's awful. Just awful. Yeah, there's been I know I'm supposed to end this, and I was just thinking about the fellow that passed away. There was a girl, lady, I call her a girl because I think she's younger than me, that was trucking, and I don't know what happened. There was an accident, and she lost her life, and it was on some of the social feeds, and she looked familiar to me. And then I remembered there was a Cabover in the backyard a month and a half ago that I saw. And I went to go see this Cabover, of course, and her and her boyfriend or guy friend, because he's a trucker too, were there because it was his dad, I believe, or I think it was his dad. And anyways, now it turns out that I met her, and she was here, and now she's gone, and she was just young and a trucker, and it's sad. It's just, so look after yourselves out there, guys. And if you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, reach out to someone. Do something that makes you feel good. You know what? For me, it's playing with my trucks, talking to you guys. Get a hobby. If you need a hobby, if you don't have a hobby, whatever. Watch YouTube. Do what makes you happy. And if you got some health things going on, don't be afraid to go talk to a doctor, get it checked out, because at the end of the day, you know what? Nothing's worthwhile unless you're here. So love you all in a non-gay kind of way. And I'm going to get to work and quit talking because I don't want my boss to moon me. Although I think he's smarter than that. Anyways, guys, take care. It's been a slice. Don't forget K2 tomorrow. Going to pick out a really good, what's funny? I was going to take, and I know I'm trying to close it off, but I keep talking. I was going to take a thumbnail of K2 because I do the thumbnails with my cell phone. I don't have Photoshop or whatever. So it's easier. And I forgot to take a picture of him when I made the video on Thursday. And then I'm like, oh, well, no big deal. I'll just run out there and take a picture. Well, he's covered in snow right now, so we're not taking that thumbnail. So I think what I'll do is take a thumbnail of the the video. But anyways, take care, guys. Really appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. Well, or enjoy your day. Have a good night. Have a good morning. I'm telling you, I'm a little crazy. End the stream. Go to the washroom because